And bam, welcome back to Nando Talk. I'm sure we all know by now, but the Miami Dolphins had one of the biggest wins we've ever seen in the franchise in the last 5 years, at least, over the Baltimore Ravens, a 42-38 comeback on the left arm of God, Tua Tagovailoa. That's right, 6 touchdowns, 469 yards, 1 comeback win. Awesome games by Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. The entire offense was humming in the fourth quarter to lead that comeback win, and it was beautiful. The defense was a bit shaky in the beginning, but we laid down the clamps, and we have done it. The Miami Dolphins have done what is quote-unquote the impossible. Oh, no. Oh, it was just muted for a second. Alrighty, I lost audio for a second, but I was in the middle of saying that the offense has done the impossible. What is said that could not be done. The Miami Dolphins all offseason were told, hey, we might have a great defense. We have great pieces in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. It was cool adding Teron Armstead. The running back rooms is nice, and Mike McDaniel is an offensive genius. But Tua Tagovailoa won't be the guy who can do it. He doesn't have the arm. He's too small. All these excuses, all these reasons. Then last Sunday, all those narratives shattered, exploded in the fourth quarter. Tua said, F that. We're proving it wrong. We're running it back, and we're running it through. We just ran through the Baltimore Ravens, touchdown after touchdown, play after play, moment after moment, where I thought the Miami Dolphins were going to falter and take a step back and be that team we've seen, that we've grown used to, where the Dolphins are on the verge of success, on the verge of doing good things. And then they slip up and then mess up, and it doesn't come out to fruition like we wanted to. But no, Tua said, F that narrative. He laid touchdown after touchdown, and we got that win 42-38. It felt like a fantasy land, a dream world, and I felt like I'm still there. Dolphin Thirsty, what is up, boss? Welcome to the show. We're just recapping a little bit of the Ravens, that franchise-changing moment, before we go into the biggest franchise-changing moment, the Buffalo Bills game. But that moment, seeing our offense come alive and understanding that, whoa, this is what we're capable of, that 270-yard, 1 touchdown game wasn't the ceiling, that this is the true ceiling, the maximum capacity this offense is lighting up and keeping up with the Lamar Jackson-led team, 6 TDs, 450-plus yards. I'm not saying we're going to get that every week, but somewhere in the middle of that, over 350 yards, 3 TDs, finally being consistent in the offensive game, whether it's the passing, whether we're turning out a little bit more to the running game, we're finally have a team that the Dolphins can say, we can score and we can keep up with the big boys. Tua is too short, noodle army not accurate, and he's a Christian too. He can't win. Fins up, beat the Bills. Exactly, man. It was every excuse in the book, and Tua is just slowly churning them out and beat them out. But this is a team effort. It's a 53-man showing, and that is what we're going to need to beat the Buffalo Bills, guys. As much as I want to say we can just rely on one player on one part of the team, that's not the case. We've seen that Buffalo is firing all cylinders right now. They are hot, hot, hot. And as hot as the Dolphins are, as fun as it to say that we have the number 1 and 3 wide receivers in receiving yards respectively, and that Tua is number 1 in touchdowns, yards, first downs, wins, everything you want to name it. 739 touchdowns. Yeah, it's like 34 first downs. I'm escaping the touchdown number right now, but you get the point. The offense is chugging along right now. But the Buffalo Bills, so are they. And we have to keep up with them on offense. We have to maintain what we showed in the fourth quarter and stay hot from the beginning. If we start with ball, our offense needs to go out there, scripted drive or not, and go out and score. If we have to keep up. We know the Bills, as good as our defense is going to be, the Bills are going to lay out points. So we as an offense needs to take that pressure off the D and say, hey, you don't have to stop them every time. Just stop them sometimes, because we're going to score as much as we can. You know, I've been projecting a 35-31 win for the Dolphins since last Sunday when I was pumped. And the more I think about it, the more and more it makes sense. I need this defense to show up and hold it down. The fact of the matter is Lamar Jackson ran for over 100 yards, threw for over 350. What is Lamar Jackson going to do that Josh Allen isn't going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is Josh Allen going to do that Lamar Jackson hasn't already done? If Josh has that crazy of a game, which is albeit not the best, but if we can spread out that scoring so it doesn't come out in a big heavy wave in the beginning like the Ravens did, we can spread it out, you know, instead of 35 points in 3 quarters, let's spread it out to freaking 30, 31 points in 4. If the defense can spread it out and the offense can keep outscoring the Bills, we'll have a shot. And they can get to the fourth quarter and the D says, hey, we're going to lock it down and hold them up like they did to Lamar Jackson last week in Baltimore. That's what we need to see. The defense has to bend, not break, because it's impossible to say we're going to stop and neutralize Josh Allen. What we need to do is contain him enough that our offense has a shot. And now we've seen that the offense has a shot. In the past, we'd see the defense complete its job to perfection, execute exactly, minimize their biggest offensive threats, and then our offense wouldn't keep up, and we'd let them down. They'd get tired, and they would start to fold and collapse through no fault of their own. But it's demoralizing seeing, dang, we're doing our job, and the other side is not. That's why I'm saying 53 men, 3 sides, offense, defense, special teams. Everyone's going to feed off each other and see, hey, my brother's doing their job, so will I. So will I. I'll keep chugging along, and we'll keep going, man. Dang. Grand, is there 12? Hey, man, I'm doing well. The question is, how are you today, Nando? How's your day going? Work good? Hey, day's going well. Happy to be a Dolphin fan and pumped up right now. It's going good. I finished classes earlier today. I have one later on, but it's just online, so I'll just do some little online classwork, bump it out, and good to go to watch some Thursday football. Works good. I need to catch up a little bit still. Some internship applications. We're still grinding out there. Hey, Florida Panthers, Miami Heat, if you want to hit me back, holler at your boy. If not, we got some other marketing opportunities out there waiting. But hey, it's going good, man. Thanks for catching me on the live stream. I'm happy to have you tuning in, checking out the show, see what kind of content I drop. All positive Finn vibes, all good vibes. If I'm a little too loud, too energetic, I do apologize. I do got one setting. Once I start going, I'm a chugging, man. And that's how I keep going. Usually we try to go Thursdays at least 3 to 4. But if I'm vibing, if I'm energetic, and if the crowd is a pumping, if the people are responding and going well, I'm good to go for a lot longer, man. We've talked about this though. Like, thank you for tuning in. Really, what I was trying to get in as that Ravens game opened my eyes to the possibility of this Buffalo game. I'm going to share this link a little bit right now while I talk, so excuse me for not looking at the camera. But hey, Dolphins Thursday, I just saw that. Still want to do a podcast. I'm down, yo. I'm going to open up the link a little later on so we can have people up. If you want to come up, feel free to, man. If not, I'm down to schedule a time. You and I, we can have a one-on-one. I'd love to do a little pre-recorded show or a live stream, whatever you're comfortable with, boss. It goes to any Fins fan who watches this, is watching this, whatever it does. I love connecting with Dolphins fans. Dolphins Thirsty's been pretty cool, hitting me up in the DMs. You can reach out to me on Twitter, message me on YouTube, hit me up in the live chat like this, and I'd love to have people on. I do open the stream up so people can hop on and talk some little Dolphins, still chop up some ball. But if you want to do something bigger, something else, or just something on the side, you let me know. I can come on your channel, you come on mine. Whatever it is, guys, it's one Dolphins community. There is so many great Dolphins creators out there, so many great just fans out there just looking at talk football, some insight. It's one of the coolest parts, I think, about live streaming is allowing people that platform to get their voice off. I know the Dolphins Thursday, you have like a channel, but there's others who, maybe they don't have that platform. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe they've never even thought about it, but you come on one live stream and you talk. Like, that's how I really started. I would go, I used to do FIU radio, but hopping on a Twitter space, hopping on a little live stream, just reawaken that sense of, oh, snap, I want to talk Dolphins again. I would talk football. I would talk sports. I would talk news. But talking Dolphins is a beast in its own. And to anyone who wants to do it, always a pleasure, man. Thirsty, I'm down to do a little podcast with you, but you can also hop on later, man. It'll be a fun time. We've got a lot to talk about. I'll probably go on for 2 hours today. I'm trying to share this link and slowly failing, man. So I'm not the most technologically sound, guys. If you guys can like it up, share this around, that'd be cool. We can get the crowd up pumping and going because it's the Dolphins-Bills week. Typically, I've said that the Bills are the franchise in the AFC East that I quote-unquote hate the least. Hate's a strong word, but you know what I mean. There's a lot. I just like a lot of Patriots and Jets fans. But over the years, the Buffalo Billy Boys have started to grow on my nerves further and further, and it started to infuriate me. And it's like, hold on. Hold up. The Buffalo Bills, I get it. They're hot right now. They've done well. But what has Buffalo done that is particularly scary? Have they won an AFC championship? Have they been to the Super Bowl? Nay, no, and no. Okay. The Buffalo Bills are hot. Their offense is doing good. But dang, man. They got to show up a little bit more. They're crowning like they're the Super Bowl champions already when, yes, they're contenders and they're hot shit. But this is still a divisional game, and while we haven't showed up recently in the past, I have to believe that Miami is going to follow this momentum that we've been building and take it to the Buffalo Billy Boys, okay? This is not the Dolphins of old. The Ravens game was a testament, that first half, a typical Dolphins team of the past would have faltered and collapsed and struggled to to absolutely come back. But we dug deep. I want to say it's a big due to the coaching staff. Mike McDaniels knows how to freaking lead them men. The coaching staff he's built underneath him as well. It's been fun, man. But shout out to our players, man. Those men have some mental toughness, the fortitude to say, hey, we're going to rally. We're going to come back. Did you see them greet Tua in the locker room? Did you see them pat him on the head, let him know, listen to him when he was giving the game ball, saying it was for the team, that they had to focus on Buffalo and then Cincinnati after that? This is a team ready, inspired. A lot of people, a lot of pundits, and a lot of media want to say, oh, Tua doesn't have a handle on this team. He doesn't have his freaking hands on the pulse. But no. My guy, Tua, man, knows how to lead those boys, and they clearly respect him. They're clearly ready to follow him, and they've rallied around him. They've seen the disrespect for one of their own and been like, dang, the mental fortitude of my fellow Finn, my fellow Dolphin brother, to not respond, to not lash out, and to keep his head down and just work hard and grind and come out and win. And we're 2-0, despite everybody, all the naysayers, all the disbelief. We love that. You saw the veterans, the rookies, players, top to bottom, cheering up with Tua, and you love to see that, man. Hey, you got to run. No worries, boss. Hey, I appreciate that, though. We'll definitely set them up, and I appreciate that. Tyler Sandak, what is up? Welcome again back, boss. I know you were newly subscribed last week, so I appreciate you tuning in and talking again and jumping in again. We're just talking it's a little bit of Dolphins, Ravens, but we're jumping into Dolphins, Bills shortly as we're setting up. I'm warming up the little vocal cords, huh? Exactly, man. The Bills fan base act like they won the Super Bowl last year, and they won the Super Bowl that the Pats won. Ha! Can anyone afford to be so arrogant? It is crazy. Like, I understand that the point and place from the Buffalo Bills, and you can even say, well, hypocritically, I, as a Dolphin fan, I'm ready to crown the Dolphins as this glorious team, and we've done even less than the Buffalo Bills. But the Buffalo Bills, you're right, are acting like they've won a Super Bowl. They're acting like they are lords of the AFC. And I get it. Josh Allen has usually been our daddy, but it's got to stop at some point. We've got to regress to the mean. And again, if I was not afraid of Super Bowl champion winning Tom Brady coming into Miami, and I get it, he used to kick our ass in the beginning, but there came a time where the Dolphins learned how to play against Brady, and we learned how to contain him. We said, this is our home field. You can have your way in Foxborough. But in Hard Rock, in Miami, we split. And we flipped the switch on Brady. And I am proud and lucky to say, honestly, because I'm a younger fan, but I have been to 5 Tom Brady games in Miami, and I am 5-0 against Tommy Brady. I am a very, very much losing record against Josh Allen that I do not even want to dive into right now, seeing a bunch of smackdowns and beatdowns. But do I think that we can eventually flip the switch against Buffalo? Yes. I think it's this week. I think this is the time. This is the most confidence, the most momentum we've entered into a game against the Buffalo Bills at home. And if there's ever a time to do it, it's going to be now. If Mike McDaniel has anything left in the bag, any switch up secret plays, let's dial them up this week, carry that momentum, and keep a winning, man. It's time to go. Okay. The Buffalo Bills, the more they chirp, the louder they get. You saw those little Tua sucks chants before their primetime matchup. They're getting to a level of arrogance that I don't know is leading to almost like they're afraid of us, or they're just this much minimizing us. But either way, it is time for the Miami Dolphins to say, hey, big bro, hey, big bully, what is up? Welcome to my crib. Let me punch you in the mouth and start to rock you. Okay, that's how we're going to beat Buffalo. Let's start with the ball, punch him in the mouth, and get some momentum going. Get the Hard Rock a thumping and driving. Okay, I know we're supposed to stay quiet on offense, but if we let loose a massive play to Tyreek, to Waddle, to whoever it is, but an explosive play, let's get loud, let's get thumping, and then get quiet quick and see a touchdown, okay? Unless that's a TD, then fire away, okay? Get as loud as you want and just freaking go, okay? If it's on defense, if the Buffalo Bills start on defense, the Buffalo Bills start on offense, it is particularly hard to stop Buffalo's first drive, particularly because it's scripted and they're so talented. But if there is a way to do it, again, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to stop their defense on their offense on the first drive, but let's get a sack. Let's get some big plays. Let's blow up a run. Let's get a big bat, whatever it is. If we can hold them to a field goal, to a punt, let's get loud. But whatever it is, be loud from the first down that they're on offense. Do not let up. Do not afford them any relief. Be relentless. These are the Buffalo Bills, and we've talked about it. The Buffalo Bills have slid from down here. It used to be I hated the Patriots, the Jets, and the Bills. The Jets are so irrelevant that the Bills have climbed up higher and higher, and the Patriots are sliding into that level of irrelevancy, and we own them, and Mac Jones sucks. The Bills are my number one enemy, the number one target. I despise talking to Billy boys because they've won nothing, they've done nothing, and act like they own the world and the throne. Hey, Tyler, we appreciate you having the Dolphins winning on Sunday. I do too, 35-31. That is the way, the move to go. Mr. Robert, what is up, boss? Pleasure to have you back on. Thanks you for joining the live stream. I saw your message on the comment while I was loading this up. Got it. I'm glad to know I didn't miss you the other day on the live stream, but I did miss you on the comments, so sorry about that, boss. You moderate a Rams content creator. He's a Bills fan. He says Tua sucks. I said funny. The same was said about Josh Allen when he was a rookie. Josh had the benefit of a coach, and the team got his back. Exactly, man. For some reason or another, the Dolphins seem to have failed to build this crazy offense to support Tua, to bring it in. And now we've done it, and now we're reaping the rewards. And it seems crazy. When he had no weapons, he was getting all the flack. And now that he has weapons, he's getting even more flack, saying that it's because of his weapons, as if it is Tua's fault of his own that Tyreek and Jalen Waddle are open. Why don't we blame the corners covering them? Why don't we play the defensive coordinators for giving Tua such an easy throw to throw to, which is still an NFL throw of 40, 50 yards in the air, okay? It's not like anybody can make these throws, or there'd be a lot more freaking quarterbacks in the NFL rather than a carousel every year, because there's about, 15, 20 good actual quarterbacks in the NFL? But I digress, okay? Colin Cowherd's an idiot. We need smart people like Rich Eisen who are hyping up and knowing these plays, because, Colin, you are a freaking fool. And honestly, I understand that people said that Tua sucks and Tua didn't have this credibility going in. But I like that point against Josh Allen. A lot has been said. Yes, there's a community that expected Tua to make a year 3 leap and likened it to Josh Allen's year 3 leap. A lot of people said, well, Tua doesn't have the physical capabilities that Josh Allen has. Josh Allen came a little bit alive at the end of the second half, and that's what sparked into his year 3 leap. All these little things. No one is saying that Tua is Josh Allen. Everyone knows that Tua is not the same size as him, not the same game, not the same arm, all these differences, okay? Tua doesn't have to be anyone else but Tua, and we finally saw that in Baltimore. Tua can win being Tua, being himself, and maximizing this offense to his capabilities, because that's how Mike McDaniel has dreamt it up, schemed it up. That's who he's playing it up for. He's not coaching Josh Allen. He's coaching Tua Tagovailoa. He's helping Tua Tagovailoa help that year 3 leap. And those speed weapons, those guys who can get open and play to Tua's strengths. Because we know that Tua doesn't like throwing the contested ball. Can he do it? Sure. But he's a guy who's trained to throw for the best play, for the accurate guy. So if he's got speedsters like Tyreek and Waddle, let them fly. Let them loose. And we're good to go. Bam. Yeah, the Buffalo Billy boys, because Buffalo Hillbillies is a little harsh, but the Buffalo Billy boys, it seems to minimize them and make them into children. So I'm so down. The BBB, the Buffalo Billy boys. Hey, we need to play like we did in the second half Sunday. I agree. We need a mixture, and that's why I keep saying, Robert, thanks for being fine with it, by the way, bro. But we need to play with the second half Sunday fury, okay? But it's a mix. We need to see that Dolphins defense from the first half against the Patriots. We need to see the Dolphins offense from the second half of the Ravens. And we need to see our special teams have a strong showing as well. Okay. But it's a mix. I need all 3 facets. I need all 3 parts of the team. I need all offense, defense, special teams to play with the fire, to each inspire each other, and to feed off of each other's energy and come ready to play against the top dog in the division, the top dog in the AFC. Because respect where respect is due. I know I'm trying to minimize the Bills, but it's because the Dolphins at the end of the day have to treat them like a divisional opponent. We can't go in there scared, knocking our knees. We have to get in there ready to fight. And like I said, ready to throw that first swing. If we win the coin toss, I want us to call for ball. Let's get ball. Let's score and say, hey, we're ready for a shootout. We're ready to go. Let's freaking ride, Buffalo. Yeah, we need to control the ball on offense, keep the defense on the field, and keep our defense off the field and fresh. Exactly. As much as I want to see every week us throw 6 touchdowns, 460 yards, I'm glad to know it can be done, but not necessarily do I want it to be done. I don't want us to be in such a massive hole where we have to throw it every single play. I'm not so sure Mike McDaniel wants to either. We need to be more consistent in the run. He's going to insist on us running anyways. of our offensive line, which did look much improved, and claps up to Greg Little, who's been getting his much needed praise all week. Austin Jackson better watch out because Greg Little is holding down that blind side. But if the offensive line shows up and is ready to play, oh baby, we can hopefully instill a run game. We can balance out the offense, keep not all the pressure on Tua, let his shoulders ease up a bit, but get ready to rock. Okay. I want to see some more running. 33 yards from Edmonds. I think we had like 50-ish from Mostert. It's not enough. We need more. We still need 100 rushing yards. We need to get over that hump and give enough support for Tua. I am happy, though, that McDaniel doesn't completely abandon the run like Flores, because he obviously that his roots are controlling the ball and getting good runs. If we control the clock, keep our defense fresh, it'll allow them to make plays. It'll make up for the shortcomings of not having Byron Jones. It'll be tough, but Xavier Howard, Kader Kohu, Nick Needham, Javon Holland, and Brandon Jones need to have a bit of a bounce back week. But hey, if our secondary holds it up, they're going to cause Josh Allen some problems. Okay, it's time. Ball out, please. Yes, please. People forget had Josh Allen dabble for 3 years. Yeah, they had consistency. They built an offense around him. He was the main focus, and in many ways, Buffalo seemed to have a bigger game plan for Josh than Tua did in the beginning. It's fine. Now is when we catch up and make it up. Put Tua on the Bills. He balls out. Hey, maybe, if you switch him up, the NFL is a little weird sometimes, Grand Desir. At the end of the day, I'm happy that we're finally seeing the benefits of Tua, that he's finally coming out. Exactly. Ball out, man. Hey, thank you, man. Last week's game is a great test for this week's game. Ravens and Bills are similar, with Lamar being the better QB. I don't know about Lamar being the better QB than Josh, but in some ways you can argue that for a defensive coordinator, they're both I was going to say Lamar might be a little harder to game plan because of those legs, but Josh Allen can run and that arm is crazy, but then Lamar can throw as well. They're both freaking monsters to contend with for any defensive coordinator, okay? And that's kind of the point I make by the fact that what is Josh Allen going to do that Lamar can't, okay? Because the argument all offseason was that if a quarterback like Lamar has a baller game, if Josh Allen is firing all cylinders, when we play Justin Herbert and he balls, we're not going to be able to keep up. The argument was Tua is not that QB that when there's a big offensive game and when the lights get tough and he needs to nut up and lead the men to offensive touchdown after touchdown after touchdown to keep up with the high-powered offense, Tua is not going to be that guy. And then Baltimore happened, and Lamar had that crazy, insane game, and Tua was able to lead it. And that's what I'm saying. And what I'm trying to say is that Josh had 50 yards and 100 rushing yards, he'd have a monster game. Okay. He'd have a monster game. And is that what I want to see? No. But now we know that Tua can win. And now we know that Tua can keep up with that kind of offense. And yes, is it a lot of thanks to Tyreek and Waddle? Sure. Do I care? Not in the slightest. Do you think it matters that Tua is throwing open guys because Tyreek Hill and Jay Waddle are so fast? No, they're probably laughing in the locker room saying, yo, remember when you threw your hand up and you were like 5 yards behind and all of a sudden you teleported 7 yards ahead of that dude? Yeah, that was freaking hilarious. Waddle and Tyreek, ha, 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 ha. Oh, you got 40 points in fantasy? Me too. We're beasts. Ha, 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 ha. That's the mentality we're having right now. We don't care what the outside noise says. We're 2-0. We're top of the AFC right now. Let's freaking ride, okay? Yeah, Robert. Greg Little played a freaking phenomenal game Sunday, and I'm happy to see that, man. Oof. Zone blocking scheme works well for our O-line. Yeah, I'm glad to see it starting to gel. And we've talked about the O-line just needed reps, in-game plays, actual time together to be able to get familiarity with each other, gel. A lot of offensive line is just communication and just working together. Okay, if they get it done right, we saw the capabilities. Well, with Lamar winning the NFL MVP a few years back, he gets the nod for being a better quarterback, in my opinion. Hey, man, I'd agree. There's been talks in the past about Lamar coming to the Dolphins. I don't think it's going to happen anymore. I didn't want it to happen, but hey, we got Tua. The only thing I'm going to say is if Lamar did come onto the Dolphins, we would have the best QB in the division. 100%. I agree with that point. Bam. I think I'm going to start opening it up. Yeah, I'm going to open this up. Why not let it fly? Don't you want to win again? Yeah, I am dropping the link in case anyone wants to hop up and tune in. I'm going to share my link also on my little Twitter. But tune in, guys. Join up. It's going to be a big moment. The reason why I want to call this franchise changing is because as massive as beating the Baltimore Ravens was, and as franchise changing it was in the sense that now we're taking a little more seriously, and now we're giving some hope that Tua has and the offense has his capabilities. And now when we say that this offense is ready to hum, it's not taken as a joke. Yes. But the Buffalo Bills win is beyond franchise changing. If we go 3-0, push the Bills down to 2-1, after how hot they've seen, not only will we cement in everyone's mind that the Dolphins are actually a legitimate team to contend for a playoff run, for it, maybe even the Super Bowl down the line, it gives hope for us Dolphins fans also that the Buffalo boogeymen are off our back, that the Billy boys can go home and that we're ready to rock, that there is not a team in this division that scares me, okay? I am good to go. I fear no team, no mortal, no QB if the Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills. Even if the Dolphins are competitive and hang blow for blow, punch for punch, okay? We've seen Rocky 1, okay? My guy Balboa did not beat Creed, but he hung there, went the distance, went every round, and took every blow on the chin, in the face, to the nose, and held tough. If the Miami Dolphins do that, trade touchdown for touchdown, blow for blow, sack for sack, turnover for turnover, the energy for energy, if it looks like a playoff game junior, that's all I need to see from the Miami Dolphins, honestly. But do I want more? Of course. Do I want to see better? Yes. Do I expect more from the Miami Dolphins? Of course. But we have to a little brief dash into realism for the next 2 minutes. This is the Miami Dolphins. If you had told us entering the season, the hope was to go into week 5 into the Jets Stadium 2-2 and hope to come back from 500 by beating the New York Jets. We're already 2-0. Okay. There is definitely a world where we drop the next 2 games and it's going to put a bit of a damper on our spirits. But as long as we are competitive, as long as we hold up, and as long as, like I said, we trade blow for blows with the top dogs, it's fine. It's not fine in the sense that we're 2-2, but it's fine that these are games that we are expected to not pop off and go spaz and go crazy. 2-2 is fine. If we can go 3-1 by 3-0 by beating Buffalo, putting us at least 3-1, I'm to the moon. I'm ecstatic. But I just need to see our team compete and show me that last week wasn't an anomaly, that it wasn't an aberration, that this is what the Dolphins are actually made of, and that we're ready to make that leap, that we're on the cusp of success, the brink of glory. God damn. I'm going to share this link again. I am live. Tune in to some Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo. Let's get a Fins win. Sorry, guys, just got to share this link. You know, I want to pump up the chat a bit if I can. Oh my days, this isn't working. Why am I like the most technologically inept person sometimes, guys? I do apologize for that. Don't you leave me, guys. I'm just trying to share this little link, but my completely inept iPhone 10 seems to be failing me, guys. But for those watching, those at this point, if you guys want to like, comment on the video, it definitely helps get the word out. But if you would like to share, that's cool too. But if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so. It would mean the world. I'm back down to 358 because I lost 2 subs. So, get 2 buddies, help me fill them back out. Share them with your friends, your family, whatever, some fellow Dolphins fans, anyone who wants to tune in. Hey, if you want to show someone to make fun of me, do that as well. But just subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. I mean, we really love that on the Nando Talk channel. We just started in April. Tyler, you're a savage and you're a beast, man. Tyler Sandak, I appreciate meeting you, man. Good sub right there. I did just post it, so you can feel free to share it or retweet it on Twitter, whatever you want, boss. I appreciate that, man. We got some good Dolphins talk soon. I've been going through it very generally, but I might as well dive into a little bit deeper. The Dolphins. Actually, my father wanted to see. So I'll let him see. Bing, bing. What is up, guys? All right, I'm almost done sharing the link. Got to get might have some people joining, huh? Boom, 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 boom. I am live. Come through, boys. All righty. Yo, the 5 people who are still in here, you guys are freaking awesome. I've been not talking for 2 minutes. I appreciate that. If we go 3-0, we will definitely go 4-0. So before I dive into the Buffalo Bills, let's just, Robert, I'm going to entertain that because that's an awesome thought. Okay. We just talked about how the goal was to at least be 3-2, to be 2-2 after week 4. And now we're 2-0. And so in theory, we have this cushion. We won. And now it's time to see what we can do. If we beat the Buffalo Bills, if the Miami Dolphins beat Buffalo and we go 3-0 and we have to go to Cincinnati off that short week, originally I would have pegged this as a loss because the emotions of Buffalo, the emotions of saying we crossed this hump, we're over the line, and to go to Cincinnati off that short week in prime time, I wasn't sure if we can pull it off. But the way the Bengals are playing, I believe the Bengals will win, obviously, this weekend against the Jets. It'll be their big turnaround game. But then they'll be coming also off a short week, going back to Cincinnati. We're both going back traveling. I definitely think that if we beat Buffalo, we're going to go beat Cincinnati 4-0. I love that, Robert. Okay. I love that sentiment, the idea, the energy, and I'll follow you down that scenario. Okay. We beat Buffalo. The boys are pumping. We're energetic. The offense traded blows for blows. The defense went at it, held, contained Josh Allen. Tua Tagovailoa successfully led our offense. We not only kept up with our offense, but outscored them and won that game. We traveled to Cincinnati off the short week. My guy, Mike McDaniel's first primetime game. And again, for another first, off this momentum, off this energy, the team will also not only rally around Mike McDaniel, knowing they got to do it for coach, but they're going to say, hey, we're rallying. We're going to do it. We're going to do it for Tua Tagovailoa. He's going to beat out Joe Burrow and say, hey, you know what, Cincinnati, I know Tua got injured and you got Joe, but we got the true number 1 quarterback in the 2020 class. And Tua will go out there and go 4-0 and beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and we'll go to MetLife. We'll be 5-0. Oh my days, Robert! What a beautiful scenario and a dream you just led me down. Cincy ain't anything. Cincy isn't anything. Hey, this year they seem to be going through a massive Super Bowl hangover season. I'm down for it. Amen, brother. I'm going to the Dolphins versus Chargers game in December. That is electric, Tyler. Are you a California native? Because that is sick. What an insane game to go to. The most West Coast I have ever gone is to Colorado. I've been to Denver. I've never been to California. I've always wanted to go. And football seems as like a good excuse as any. I was thinking of maybe going to the Niners game, maybe going to the Chargers game. I do have a buddy. Shout out Anthony if you watch, man. My guy, Little. He lives over in Cali. I've got to see. I know he's an LA guy, so I think going to the Chargers game would actually make more sense. And in which case, boss, I'll buy you a beer and then we'll have a good one, Tyler. But in any case and in any event, I'm still good to rock. We're good to go. And I want to see a Chargers game. That'd be sick. I've originally penciled that as a win, then as a loss in a tight game. But now what the Dolphins are seeing, and now what I'm seeing with Justin Herbert, he is coming off those cracked ribs, and he does have a pick 6, and he is prone to throwing those fourth quarter interceptions late. If the Dolphins can get him in a close game and the game is on the Justin Herbert shoulders, I'm going to laugh at him when he throws a game-losing interception and the Dolphins get that dub, Tyler. Oh, you're from San Diego? That's awesome, man. I guess you're probably a Chargers fan, so you might get mad at my little anti-Herbert statements, but sorry about that, boss. All in good fun, huh? The San Diego Chargers, I still call them that all the time. I'm still not used to them being an LA team, but it's okay. SoFi Stadium is definitely state of the art, though. It's insanity. Okay. I know the Hard Rock Stadium is remodeled and it looks nice, but there is a massive difference between remodeled and brand new. SoFi is oof. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to go to the Chargers game because then I can experience that. I'm about, I'm down. I've never been to an away Dolphins game, and I was talking to Stephen D. I also do clock blockers on the Miami Sports Music. A little 9:30 a.m. vibes on Tuesday. We're good to go there. I was talking to Steven, though. I might be going to my first Dolphins away game. I was maybe going to go to Baltimore. I didn't end up going. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to go to Cincinnati, but to MetLife, takeover. Jets game, I am down to go to that and to rally it up. Be a good time. I got a bunch of buddies who live in New York. Spencer, Trevor, the vibes. Hey, it'd be a good time to visit you guys and probably crash on your couch, just letting you know. But good talk. Without further ado, it's time to talk to Miami Dolphins. Alrighty, guys. So should I start with how the Miami Dolphins offense is going to have to play to beat the Buffalo Bills, or how the Miami Dolphins defense? So we'll go between, every positional group, but just wanted to know if I should go offense or defense. What you guys feeling? What you guys are? You haven't been to SoFi? Yeah. Hey, you will soon, boss. That's awesome. Live in West Coast. Haven't seen the Fins play over here. Never in Florida. Okay. Hey, man, if you can go to a Chargers or a Niners game, those would be two fun games on the West Coast for you to rock. And hey, look, Tyler's going to the Chargers game, so there you go. That's a good one, man. Alrighty, guys. Dolphins offense or Dolphins defense? What should we talk about? And obviously, if I talk to Dolphins offense, we'll be talking Buffalo defense. If I talk to Dolphins defense, we'll be talking Buffalo offense. Which should we hear a little bit more? 3 keys to winning the game for the Fins. Devil's advocate. How do the Bills beat the Fins? Alrighty. Injury report. Yeah, so injury report. We'll get into that one real quick. Off the top of my head, I know that Micah Hyde is dealing with a bit of a neck injury. Those are always scary. So, hope for a speedy recovery for him. There's a chance he misses against the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, that's good for us, but I hope he does recover in all honesty. But hey, any weaker their secondary can get is a plus for the Miami Dolphins. This is football, baby. Kyer Elam, if he's asked to cover Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle alone with no help, it's going to be a tough day for the rookie. He's very talented out of UF. We love to see a Gator succeed like that. But at the end of the day, they're banged up. There's no Tre'Davious White. Granted, the Dolphins don't have Byron Jones either. He's on PUP. He won't be back till week 5. Austin Jackson's on the IR. He won't be back till week 6. Greg Little seemed to feel fine at right tackle, but the health of this O-line is going to determine how far we go. We're already a bit banged up on the O-line and a bit banged up in the secondary. We cannot take any more injuries there, okay? It's been nice to discover we do have some depth. Greg Little's been, like I said, fine on the O-line, but I don't want to go any deeper than that. If we have to bring up Larnell Coleman from the practice squad to be our starting left tackle or right tackle, there's going to be massive problems, okay? But as of right now, they seem to be holding up. On the Dolphins secondary side, like I said, no Byron, and it looked like Brandon Jones is a little questionable. I think it's just maintenance. He's been doing this for most of the season, and honestly last year as well. They give him a couple of days off, and occasionally throughout the season, he's good to go. Brandon Jones and Javon Holland, though, need a bounce-back game regardless, though, so I want them at full health and ready to go. Like I said, this Dolphins secondary is not at full strength. We don't have Byron Jones. We can't take any more injuries. Xavier Howard, he looked a little slow. I hope he's all fine and healthy. We're good to go on that end. Kader Kohu and Nick Needham are already young guys, manning their positions quite admirably. Nick Needham as a slot corner is very nice and dandy, but we don't have any depth at slot. Okay, so Nick Needham cannot go down. Kader going down would be a little troubling, but at least it'd just be plugging in another young guy and ready to go there. So Tyndall and Ezukanma were healthy scratches. Channing Tyndall was a healthy scratch week 1. Then he had a bit of an illness last week. I believe it was like a stomach bug or something. It was very late in the week, though. Obviously nothing threatening or severe, and it's not COVID, so he should be expected to be fine. I want to believe that he was going to be declared active for week 2 because we could have used him as a QB spy. It would have been a little bit more effective stopping Lamar. That being said, if he's fine with his illness, he should be cleared for week 3. Will he play? I'm not sure. We seem to be a little bit more conservative on our rookies, considering we do have ample veteran depth and quality players that the coaching staff is pretty confident in. Tyndall, I would love to see him have a nice coming out party and be able to absolutely rock Josh Allen. We talk about game-changing plays from our defense if the Bills start with the ball. Jalen Phillips getting a sack and showing Greg Rousseau that he's the big UM guy would be awesome. But a Channing Tyndall play and getting a nice chase down on Allen, containing or getting a sack, hitting him, and making his presence known, that'd be a fun time. I want to see him play. Another healthy scratch was Eric Ezukanma. The reason for that, Wes Welker was very upfront. He said, we've got so much talent at wide receiver and so much depth that we can afford to let Eric Ezukanma get acclimated at his own speed. Translation, in my opinion, Eric Ezukanma is very talented and fine. Is he more talented than Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson, who is a great wide receiver 3, who could be a 2 on some teams? Probably not. So then it's depending on now what we have for roles. Trent Sherfield is a great special teams contributor, and he knows the playbook very well. He can slot in and fill time on his offense when needed. River Craycraft is a shifty veteran. When he's been called up in place of Eric Ezukanma off the practice squad, hey, Craycraft, again, it's a guy who, if needed be, I'm sure there's Craycraft plays. I'm sure there's an idea that Craycraft knows his role on this team. He's a vet. So if they want to start off Eric Ezukanma slow, I'm okay with that. Tyndall, I'd like to see a little bit more action from because I don't think it's the same level of talent in our linebacker room, considering Jerome Baker's talented in his own right, but not a true middle linebacker. Landon Roberts, Duke Riley, it's not exactly the craziest linebacking room. So I'd love to see a little bit more Tyndall. What does vet rest mean? Melvin Ingram on the injury report. Yeah, Melvin Ingram's like 29 years old, I think 30 years old. Again, he's another player who's been getting a little bit of rest. Veteran rest is mainly just maintenance. We have to keep him fresh for Buffalo because he's an older player, but we're also projecting and looking ahead saying they can't get too banged up trotting it all against Buffalo because they do have to play against Cincinnati on Thursday. So let's start the maintenance now. Let's start letting them rest and recover and good to rock. That's just off the top of my head for injuries. I'm going to have to dive into injury reports a little bit later this weekend. Which is why I'm trying to still shop a streaming day for maybe Saturday so I can get a little bit more clarity on the injury report and see who's good to go. I know Dawson Knox is also a little bit questionable. There's not too much clarity on the Buffalo's injury report because they played on Monday. It's Thursday right now. They're still getting the practice injury report released, but we'll see so far. Yeah, Tyler, it's veteran, we're seeing veteran rests ramp up more and more this season. You look at Tom Brady; he's not even practicing on Wednesdays from now on, which is kind of wild. But and another Buffalo injury that I've got to report: Gabe Davis. He missed the game on Monday. It was a game time decision. He got declared out at 5:30 p.m. They played at 7:15. So it looked like he was close to playing. He was questionable in practice late in the week last week. Seems he might have banged up a bit. I'm hoping he's coming back. I'm going to check right now what his injury status is. Don't fail me now. Gabe Davis is. Yeah, Gabe Davis 100% confident he'll play. He was limited for the second straight day, which is actually a good sign. He's in practice for the next 2 days. Yeah, it was a little bit of an ankle injury. So we'll talk about our secondary then. So the Buffalo Bills will have Stephon Diggs. It looks like they'll have Gabe Davis. Those are some fine receivers. And Isaiah McKenzie presents his own challenge with that speed, that burst. He's a Florida guy, and he loves playing down here. American Heritage fellow alumni. So hey, I want a big game from Isaiah McKenzie. Jamison Crowder didn't do too much. It was a nice acquisition from the Jets. A bit of a smaller guy, 5'8", and overall a good receiving core. Prior to the start of the season, I said that the Dolphins had the best wide receiver core in the NFL, maybe even at least in the AFC. I got clowned by Buffalo Bills fans saying that Tyreek and Waddle weren't going to be able to produce. We got the number 1 receiver in yards in Tyreek Hill, the number 2 in Jalen Waddle, the number 3 in Jalen Waddle. Number 2 is Stephon Diggs. So, yes, credit to the Buffalo Bills receiving core, but the Dolphins clear it, in my opinion. That being said, it is still an interesting challenge for this Dolphins secondary to undergo. If we had Byron Jones, I would not be too worried. We could have Xavier Howard and Byron work together, take turns off of Stephon Diggs. But Stephon is a freaking monster. Okay, he was cooking Jalen Ramsey. Stephon is hot right now. He's on point, and so is Josh. So it's going to still be a tough task, especially without Byron. Now it's up to Xavier Howard to stop Stephon. Can he contain him on an island? Can he go for him one-on-one? It'll be a tough battle. There are players who know each other quite well, and Stephon's route runners so crisp. Xavier, I need a physical game from you. I need a good game. Come on, X-Man. Ordinarily, I would wear you to the stadium, but now I've got the other jerseys. I'm thinking of going to a man. Might have to rock the Holland because that was the week 1 win. But, hey, Tua on fire. Waddle got me the week 2 dub, though. I'm not too much of a superstitious guy, but with the jerseys, I'm a little particular and finicky, man. But, hey. Random fact, that's sick, man. Going to the same high school as Ricky Williams. Not the same years, obviously, but that's still sick, bro. That lore. My best friend, his mom taught math at Kobe Bryant's high school. Well, Kobe was there, Lower Marion. That's freaking sick, So just the lore in general, though, of going to football with like a guy like going to high school in a place where Ricky Williams went, that's sick. Like we have St. Thomas Aquinas down here, so like where my brother goes, like the Bosa's went there, Giovanni Bernard went there, Michael Irvin went there. Sick school. A bunch of crazy players have gone there. I went to American Heritage, so I went to school actually same years as Sonny Michel and Isaiah McKenzie. Pat Surtain was a year younger than me. Brian Burns is in my grade. So it's always cool on that end, man. So sick little fun fact. But back to the Dolphins, this Bills wide receiving core presents an interesting matchup, and it's up to, Stephon is going to move around, but I want to see if Xavier Howard can hold it up and get some nice defense on it, man. We're going to put the little link again in case anybody wants to talk, but dang. Tyreek Hill. Fucking Stephon Diggs. Interesting matchup. I need Xavier Howard to lock him up, but Kader Kohou, as a rookie, is absolutely balling. He's one of the top-rated rookie cornerbacks in this class right now, and he's been just balling as a corner in general. If Darth Kader can continue this performance, I'm not saying he has to lock down Gabe Davis, but between, Gabe Davis is going to be moved out from the outside to the slot. They're going to get creative with him. If we can let Nick Needham and Kader Kohou shut down Gabe Davis, if we can eliminate a toy for Josh, because we're not going to eliminate Stephon Diggs. We can contain Stephon. But if we can eliminate Gabe Davis, Jamison Crowder's, force Josh to say, damn, I've got to test Xavier Howard. Let's let it rock. We saw Xavier Howard. He does get beat at times, but X also makes those game-changing plays when needed to. The more you test him, the more plays he's going to get and the more opportunities for a turnover, which X loves to do with them sticky hands. Yes, Stephon Diggs is quite a challenge, but if we can use our other receivers to erase, if we can use our other corners to erase Josh Allen's receivers and actually, force him to sometimes target Xavier Howard when needed to, let it rock, okay? I get it. It's a bit risky. It sounds a bit dumb, honestly. The more I say it, let them target Stephon, but we're not going to stop him. We're not going to contain him. So let's let it fly, bro. Let's erase JMO. Let's erase Isaiah McKenzie. Let's erase Gabe Davis. Minimize and turn this offense more one-dimensional. Let's fucking go, site. CT, what is up, boss? Man, I got the link if you want to pop up in the pop up. It was always a fun time, my guy. We're good to go right now, bro. The Buffalo Bills, it's going to be a tough challenge to stop their offense, but like I said, we're not going to magically stop the Buffalo Bills. We're not going to magically just tell Josh Allen, hey, you are no longer an A1 QB. What we can do, though, is contain them, give them some fits in the secondary, force them to beat them the ways we want them, to dictate it our way, okay? It's time to not let Josh Allen just pick apart and choose what he pleases. If we've got to funnel it to Stephon, funnel to Stephon, man. If we've got to just say, hey, we're going to double cover, not triple cover. If we're going to double cover Stephon and let you guys beat us with Gabe Davis, if we're going to beat us with Isaiah McKenzie, Jamison Crowder, so be it. But I would need a big day from the secondary in general. Bang a ring. We got a big legend, a big homie, a nice guest. What is up, boss? Mr. CT. How's it going, baby? Thank you for joining up on the show, huh?
What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Loving the show as always. Normally you're on a little early, so I don't get to come on, but I got home a little early today. Man, I love it, dude. And like you said, we're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop them, but I do want to say, like you said, Melvin Ingram and Eric
Ogba.
Rowe are going to be keys in this game. And I
Oh, yeah.
think just like we used Eric Rowe to eliminate Mark Andrews in the second half of that Baltimore game, I think putting him on Dawson Knox, that
Yup.
should keep Dawson Knox in check. All we got to do now is, again, even with Xavier having that growing injury, he was back at practice today. He may not be at 100%, but again, you want to have Xavier Howard and Javon Holland bracket Stephon Diggs and allow, Xavier to stay short so he doesn't re-aggravate that growing. That's fine. You can have, Cater Kahoo and Brandon Jones worry about McKenzie. And I think, again, it only takes 2 or 3 stops and you score an extra 2 or 3 touchdowns or an extra touchdown. And that's it, bro. You're not trying to, now don't get me wrong. I'd still be happy if we shut them out. I would still be freaking ecstatic, but that's not realistic,
Of course, man. I mean, I would love to win 35-0, flip it on them, hey, and say we're the ones doing the shutting out now. We're the ones giving them the business. What is up, Adam and Cap for Life, by the way, real quick. But yeah, CT, exactly. That's what I've been saying. Bend, don't break. We just got to stop them. Maybe not every time, but 1 or 2 times. And when our offense can outscore them, that's why I think in a little 35-31, just the difference of forcing them to score a field goal over a touchdown can win us the game. Honestly, that little bend don't break.
Now you make me feel like I'm the homer because I'm looking right now. I'm looking at these starting cornerbacks for them. First year rookies, one undrafted, one drafted in the 4th round, going up against Tyreek and Waddle. And I'm serious in this. They're gonna have to play 2 deep all game. There's no way that they're gonna allow these young guys to play 1-on-1 with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So they're going to have to put deep safety help back there, and that's going to open up the run game. That's going to open up the short to intermediate passes. And, hey, if they want to sneak up a couple times, bro, all it takes, we saw it on Sunday, 4 touchdowns in 1 quarter. You keep messing up, you lose these guys in coverage, forget it. It's over. It only takes 1 play.
All it takes 1 play. Yeah, you're right, man. We saw it was crazy. Most of the touchdowns were on 3rd down. They stopped them on 1st, stopped them on 2nd. And it was just 1 play, 1 little goof on 3rd, bam, to the house, touchdown. It's over. And so is Kyer Elam not playing, or like the UF 1st-round corner?
Yeah, he is but they also have the undrafted rookie. They also had he apparently outplayed their 1st-round draft pick all camp, and he was starting over. And then when the other one got hurt, that's when they said they're going to be playing both of them. So it's going to be interesting, man.
Oh, it's going to be
interesting.
I can hear the excuses now. We played against a rookie secondary and we got lucky about this.
Exactly. But they don't notice that we're missing Byron Jones, who is way better than any cornerback they had on their team, regardless.
And he changes everything.
Yeah, but we're not going to complain about that. We're still going to come out here and play the game and whoop that ASS. So let's go.
Yes, sir, man.
I had us. I know Xavier Howard has to have a pick 6 this week. Why? Because he has to make up for that dropped one he had against Lamar. He was mad at himself. So we know that's off the rip. That's 1 TD right there. I'm hoping Tua gets 3 or 4 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. So I have us winning 51-38.
Dude, I don't know if my heart can take a 51-38, man.
I'll take a 50 burger. We got a 40 burger last week. Now I want a 50 burger this week.
You might give me a heart attack at Hard Rock, man. Like, that'd be insanity, man. I would definitely lose my vocal cords if we had a 50 burger, 51, and that'd be a crazy high scoring game. Like, that's us going pedal to the metal from the beginning to 4th down. So I guess like in a 51-38, both teams score on their first drives.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you realistically think about it, at that point, you're talking about 1 or 2 touchdowns a quarter. So it's not unrealistic to assume that. And then but X's pick six is going to be the cherry on top. That's the only thing that's going to get us to the 50 burger.
Okay, that'd be nice. A little ending pick six. You think? Josh getting frustrated, trying to get a little comeback going. And Xavier just wakata to the house.
Yep.
That'd be so beautiful, CT. Man, 51-38 would be such a fun time, man. Hey, real quick though, have a good night, Grand Desire. Thanks for tuning on for the first time on the stream. It's a pleasure, boss. Great weekend. Fins up all day and twice on game day, baby. Dude, 51-30. Now you got me hyped, CT, man. Now, like, if I'm there in the stadium, I'm just watching us drop points after points, clean drive after clean drive. Yes, it would pain me a little to watch the defense let up 38 points. But hey, they let up 38 last week, and I'm still alive. If we can respond with 51, like that's playoff game junior right there. That's what teams do.
Yeah, I just think that again, if he can throw 4 touchdowns in a quarter, he can absolutely throw 2 touchdowns every quarter.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Especially up against this rookie secondary.
Yeah, that's going to be the big change of it. If from the beginning, if we start scoring on them, that's confidence galore right there. We already got that confidence from last week, saying, "Hey, 4 touchdowns in one quarter, we can do it. 2 touchdowns in a quarter, dude. If they let up 2 touchdowns first 2 drives." That's the monkey off your back right there. We're ready to go. We're ready to rock. We can do this.
Yep. And that's where I hope we come out and we start. Because, again, we've scored on our opening drive multiple times, in the preseason. And then once in the Patriots game, obviously, we scored on our second drive in Baltimore. But, bro, scoring those early points, getting the other team in a position where they have to play catch up is what our defense is set up for. And
it's beautiful.
Yeah, if you can play complementary football and make the other team have to pass to catch up to you, you're making them one-dimensional, and they fall right into our defense's hand of being a good pass defensive team.
That's the beauty of the Dolphins. And what is up, Bob, bro? I was talking to Alan. He went to the Dolphins game. That is sick that he was there at the Ravens game. I think you were there too, so that's legendary. But CT, I love what you bring up there. So I've been wanting to start. I want the Dolphins to start with the ball so we can go out and score first. Would you say that plays to our strengths then?
I think it does, but also, again, it puts in the situation where you have to balance it, because in an away game, sometimes you want to have that ability to double dip the chip after halftime.
Yeah.
But if you're in the situation where you're at home and you want to come out and smack them in the mouth in that very first drive, that's the only way you're going to do it. You got to set the precedence.
Set the precedence. That's what smacking them out. That's what I want to do, bro. Like, I want to go out there, start with the ball, punch Buffalo right in the face, right in the beginning, and let them know the tone early that we're going to score, that, hey, we're going to chase that CT 51-38, my 35-31. We're going to put up points, 30, 40, 50 points, whatever it may be. The Dolphins offense has to set that tone from the beginning, Ooh, I didn't even think of that, though. Bob saying rain playing a factor on Sunday. I have to check the weather report. It looked like it was going to rain on week 1, and then it didn't end up raining during the game. So I'm going to check that now. If it rains, though,
I heard that it's supposed to rain before the game, and then the sun's going to come back out, and it's supposed to be like 106. So for y'all at the game, I hope y'all are prepared, hydrate. It's going to be miserable.
That sounds
if it hasn't
miserable.
Changed.
That's kind of the best case scenario for the Miami Dolphins, asking the Buffalo Bills to play in 100-degree with humidity weather, because the real killer is the humidity. Like, I've lived in upstate New York. Like, I know it gets hot there, but it's a dry heat. It's not that humid Miami heat, especially after a rain. There is no hell like a hot, muggy day in Miami after a rain. So a part of me wants that exact scenario. I don't want rain during the game, but a little rain beforehand wouldn't hurt.
But then we also know how unpredictable the weather is, so you don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather at that point just hope for no rain at all and just blazing hot sun, and then just avoid rain during the game in general. But yeah, weather's too unpredictable, man. It's raining right now, I think. I can't tell. Everything's like sound emitted right now, but I think it's raining. Oh, dang, man. Yeah, Sunday
So what
game would be
else do
better,
you guys
CT.
think is going to be a key to the game? What do you think some of your keys are going to be, Nando?
Definitely, like, I like how we were talking about, like, trying to contain Josh, trying to take away his weapons. I hadn't factored in Dawson Knox yet, so Eric Rowe and his health and just being the tight end killer that he is, locking Luke. I almost said Luke. Sorry, Dawson Knox. That'd be crazy. I go to FIU, so I almost said Luke Knox. But Dawson Knox, locking him up, that'd be crazy. Okay. On offense, the O-line playing like it did, Greg Little holding it up as a blindside tackle, a little more of that would go wonders. Okay. They're going to have Von Miller and Greg Rousseau coming at us. I think Ed Oliver might come play this game as well. The Bills that D line can get a little scary. If our O line can hold up and we can get more running and get them passing plays off, that's the key, man, in the trenches right there.
Yeah, agreed. That's another good one for me too. I know that in the first half of that Baltimore game, we were still struggling with picking up stunts. We had some miscommunication errors, with Teron Armstead. On that one outside blitz, he assumed that the running back was going to pick up the blitz, and the running back didn't. Yeah. So little things like that were off. But in that second half, they came out, and I jumped up and down. I was super excited because I saw the first inside stunt that we picked up perfectly, and I'm like, oh my God, they can do it. Yeah. And so for the rest of that second half, bro, they played very well, and I hope that turns over to this game as well.
Agreed. I hope that turns over. It carries on. When you see that second half performance where it looked like they gelled and clicked, and they finally were communicating with each other well and figuring it out, that'd be massive. Okay.
Oh yeah. Because if you see, credit to Mike Applebaum and Darrell Bevel, all of these coaches that have offensive line experience, bro, they came out, and if you saw it in the second half, they turned to each other. They turned right and left before each play, and they pointed to guys. They talked to each other. Where in the first half, you didn't see that. You saw Connor Williams doing some pointing and yelling, but each of the guys on the line were turning their head to each side and was like, look, if this guy does this, we're going to do this. If this guy does this, we're going to. And they talked it out. And look, it showed. It showed that their communication, was allowing us the time to allow Tua to throw the ball and get us back in that game.
Exactly. They communicated together, and that's why I love having veterans like Connor Williams. Great point. Just like Teron Armstead, their ability to diagnose a situation and just communicate with the guys and say, hey, this is what we have to do in situation A, we play it like A. Situation B, we play it like B, and so on and so forth. I love that I saw at the end too, Teron on that last drive, telling Tua to simmer, telling everybody to calm down, that we're good to go. That veteran poise is awesome for the offense, but for the O-line too. No more Jesse Davis is the veteran in the room, man. That's crazy.
Thank God.
Could you imagine like critical situation like that, and Jesse's the one who has to stand up and says, all right, guys, calm down. I know what we have to do.
We have to miss blocks, try to get Tua hurt, and we'll win this game for the other team. Let's go. That's what his pump-up speech would have been.
Oh, my God. He would have been like reading from a book. He would have been like, all right, guys, this is the place. We ride.
Oh, yeah, baby. No, I loved it, man. I love seeing that. And even, again, not even the poise of Tua, but the poise of the offense in general of, knowing, look, it's one play at a time, the fact that, again, and here's where this precipitous asshole, and I love him, but Mike McDaniel want to come out and, bro, you almost got your ass whooped. And then after the game, he has the balls to come out and go, I told him I wanted to see some adversity, but they took it a little bit too far. It's like, bro, you have some major cojones to come out, and after you just won that type again, to be like, yeah, I'm going to make a joke about it.
It was amazing. It's like when you're playing like your little like Madden or your 2K, and it's like gives you the three options of what to say. It's like the safe one, the team one, or just like the asshole. Just go for it. And that's when McDaniel just goes for it. He's like, F it, we won, man. I'm 2-0. He's like, I can see whatever I want.
Exactly. But I love it, man. I love the attitude, the confidence that this team exudes, this coaching staff exudes. I'm just super excited for it, man.
The energy's
because this
different,
is going to
man.
be a big win, man. If we can pull out a win, we're going to be a game and a half in front of Buffalo in the division race.
Oh my God.
And that sets up the rest of this season, man. That sets up the rest of this season because I'm tired of we're always, you know, 2-3 or 2-4, and we got to win these extra games to get back into the season. No, we're not starting off slow this year. We came out starting on fire, and I hope that continues.
On fire, man. That was the big talk. It was like, oh, we've seen this story before. The Dolphins win week 1 and then we go falter and sputter out. You know, we saw it last year when we started dropping game after game. Granted, that was because of QB injuries, but hey, this year, like you said, man, we started on fire, CT, and that's what I want to see. I want to see us keep that spark, keep that momentum. You know,
Yep.
at the
And
very
people don't
least,
realize how important that momentum is.
oh yeah, man, like a 3-0 is. That's why I wrote franchise changing moment at the bottom. It seemed like hyperbole at the time, but like, no, the more I think about it, like the more it's like, geez, like 3-0, a game and a half in the division on Buffalo, front runners for the AFC East, front runners for the AFC in general. Like, holy hell, what else do the Dolphins have to do to show that they're legit? Like, that'd be eye-opening.
Like you said earlier, they're going to come out and say, oh, you played against the rookie secondary. Oh, they were injured and you guys took advantage. But, yeah, man, everybody's dealing with injuries. We've lost Byron Jones and we lost Trill Williams. We've had, our fair share of injuries. Now,
Yeah, welcome to the NFL.
I'm knocking on wood that we don't have any more. But again, that's part of the game of football. Injuries happen. You have to be able to next man up, deal with it, make adjustments, and still win your game. So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit about, oh, they were injured and you guys just beat an injured team. And I don't want to hear that. They're still the Buffalo Bills. You're still getting paid. Play your game.
Exactly, man. Play your game, man. 100%. There's 53 men on the roster. Okay. It's the job of a team, of a responsible team, to not only build star players and get good starters, but also quality depth waiting in the wings, because this is the NFL, bro. You're 100% right. Injuries happen. We can't just say, oh, boo-hoo. Hey, you know what, CT? Let's postpone this game until the Buffalo Bills are 100% straight.
Exactly. Like, this is Madden. Let's turn the injuries off. Come on. This is not this is real life. Stop it.
Exactly. Stop it, bro. Like, it's tough, but you're right. Like, Dolphins already faced adversity on their own. We're down an offensive lineman. We pumped them up. We're down 2 starting corners. We lost Byron, then we lost Trill. We played with our undrafted free agent, and Darth Cater's balling out. That's what good teams are doing, bro. And finally, the Dolphins have the talent to be able to do that. It's awesome.
Yeah. And for all the haters of Cater Kahoo, he is actually the number 1 rated cornerback in the NFL right now.
That's
granted,
insane.
Yes, it's a limited sample size. However, bro, he had 3 game impacting plays in the Patriots game on 8 snaps. Okay. And then this past week, he had 16 or 18 snaps. And he also had 2 pass breakups and a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. So again, impactful plays. Granted, again, it's a small sample size, but we may have found our replacement. And again, if Trill Williams comes back next year healthy and we have Cater Kahoo, it's going to be interesting, man. Nick Needham might not have a spot on this team next year.
It is crazy, man. Like, he's on that second-year rookie he's on that, like, second-round rookie tender or something. So he might not have a spot if we don't re-sign him. Like, unless we move on from, like, Byron or something, Nick Needham might be gone, bro. That's crazy. And not through fault of his own, just edged out through just talent.
Yep, exactly. And I love Nick Needham, but I don't know. He might get the boot out the door if Cater Kahoo keeps playing this damn good.
No, it's crazy, man. And Aladino, what is up, boss? Great to see you again, man. Thanks for popping on. But Adam has a good point, man. Like Cater Kahoo makes me feel sometimes like, I don't know about, like, it's harsh to label Noah a bust, but like, it makes me feel some type of way about Noah for sure, knowing that Cater Kahoo said, yo, I'm undrafted, I'm coming out the gate, and I'm ready to ball. And it's just wild to me.
You got to think about this, and as far as I'm concerned, Noah's an absolute bust. Because how can you, at this point, you can't even make it on special teams. You got an undrafted guy coming in and playing significant reps while you're still sitting on the bench. I'm sorry, but that's a telling sign for me. I mean, I give the guy, all the credit in the world. You made it to the NFL, and I hope the best for the young man. But when an undrafted free agent is getting reps and meaningful games over you, that is not a good sign. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign. And like I've been saying it, like Sam Madison, like Pat Surtain, whoever they give their stamp of approval to, I was ready to rock with for the year. I genuinely believed whoever got the starts, like whoever made them plays week one, was going to get another stamp of approval and just keep earning their trust in Sam Madison and Surtain. It looks like Noah just doesn't have that trust, but they're the best eyes to judge, I think, out of anyone.
Yeah, and it's very similar to what I've seen with people like we had Sean Smith and we had, other cornerbacks where they had part of the skill set, but they didn't have the entire skill set. And then we kept spending all this time and energy trying to get them to where they needed to be. And yet here we are. We did the same thing with Noah, being super patient with him. And I know that Noah's still extremely young. Even, he's still a year younger than most of these guys coming in as rookies.
He's a young, younger than me, man.
But the problem is if these undrafted guys are still coming in and getting reps over you, there's something missing there. Obviously, they're not seeing something they want to be seeing.
Exactly, man. And Sam Madison, Patrick Tate, Dolphins legends, cornerback studs. Like, if there's anyone who's going to see it, it's them. And like, it's not just through playing eyes. It's also like, for me, like Pat Surtain was the head coach for American Heritage. Like, he worked with Pat Surtain Jr. with Ty Campbell, who went to Georgia as a top corner prospect. He's a second rounder for the Jaguars. Marco Wilson from UF, who was a fourth rounder. Like, the guy knows cornerbacks. And if he doesn't see it in Noah, sucks, man. But if he sees it in Cater, I love that. Both sides of the sword. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's where, again, you put trust in these position coaches where they know what they want to see. They know what, to expect from these guys. And like you said, I don't think that there's any two better people with Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison to be the one to develop and evaluate our talent. That's an all-star coaching staff. That's one thing I love Mike McDaniel for. He has put together one hell of a coaching staff.
100%. That coaching staff, all-star coaching staff. Like, I don't know. I'd be a little more worried that we wouldn't come out and execute against Buffalo, but it's these all-star coaching staff that I have to feel is going to grab each position group and just let them know, like, you're representing me right now. Let's go ball. Let's go feast.
Yep. Because, again, imagine Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain know what it was like. Granted, for them, it was the Jets always beating us and, us having our struggles with the Jets. But it's the same thing. It's another division game. This sets up your season, a game and a half lead on supposed Super Bowl contenders in the preseason. They hyped up the Bills, hyped them up. We come out and we give them that L, bro, it's going to change shit. Oh, it's going to change shit.
So much shit, man. Like it's a massive game breaker, franchise changer. Like 3-0 when there were people projecting us to go 1-3, like 0-4.
Exactly.
3-0.
Exactly. And my thing is I've made this, I've said it. I have my record prediction at 14-3 this year. I might have to change it to 16-1 because in all reality, after this point, if we win today, the only other game that I'm concerned about is Buffalo later in the season.
There we go.
That's it. I mean, the Packers are playing like shit right now. And again, things can change, by the time we get there. But, just going off of what I see, I'm not largely concerned. There's a 7-game stretch in there in the middle that until we get to that 49ers game, but I still think the way the 49ers are playing with Trey Lance's injury, I'm good with that. I think we can win that game too. Shit, we could be 12-13-0.
Dude, I love that confidence, CT. 12-13-0. If we get through this, was supposed to be the meat grinder part of our, like, this beginning 4 stretch was supposed to be so tough. I was originally saying 2-2. If we get through it 4-0, there's a big possibility that we could somehow get to 12-0, 13-0 CT. Like, it's not, I don't think it's that crazy of a take. You know what I'm saying? Like, at all. If we get
Well,
past this
I was
four,
crazy. It was crazy because I made it before we even started winning. So
that's why. That's why. Like if you look at it now, I'd be like, no, you're reasonable. If we beat Buffalo, I could see us going 13-0. You know what I'm saying? You made it a while ago, like before we started winning, before week one.
I made it when the schedule came out.
The schedule.
Yeah, when the schedule came out, that was my original prediction.
That's crazy. I was called crazy for predicting us to go 12-5. You had us ripping off 13-0.
Well, the 3 losses I had us taking were like Dolphins. We always find one team to be our trap game. And I really thought that trap game was going to be the 49ers, the whole revenge thing. And then I had us losing to the Packers and losing to the Bills. But the way the Packers have came out to play and the issue with Trey Lance, now I'm kind of like, I think we might only lose one this year.
It's kind of crazy. Like I have to adjust my schedule prediction because we've won more games than I've already thought, especially if we beat Buffalo. Like agreed the Trey Lance thing. Like I think I went from saying we won't be able to beat San Francisco to I think we're going to beat San Francisco now. I might have to follow you suit, bro. I might have to go like 14-3.
I mean, hey, it's any given Sunday, and we can lose any single game. I'm just basing it on what I've seen so far. And, I may be a homer, call me a homer. That's fine. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. But from what I see, again, if like you said, if we can get through this 4-game meat grinder of the schedule, the next 7 are freaking gimmies. They're gimmies. And, well, okay, they should be gimmies. That doesn't mean that we won't get a trap game in there somewhere, but they should be gimmies. And I don't know. I mean, I don't see if you go out and you beat Buffalo and Cincinnati and you're going into Chicago, you're going into Pittsburgh, bro, those teams don't scare me. I'm not scared by those teams.
That's what I'm saying. Like those teams don't scare me. Like the NFC North right now is in shambles. Okay. Like
Detroit doesn't scare me.
Like the Vikings are collapsing, bro. Like,
yeah,
we'll just tell Kirk Cousins before the game, hey, it's our fan week. This is like a primetime game, and he'll just fall apart. He'll just forget how to play football, and like we'll just tell him there's a lot of TVs on him, and he'll get a little scared. Like I don't know, like, and that's like probably the hardest game in that 7-game stretch. It's wild. Like I'm not afraid of Jacoby Brissett. I'm not afraid of the Texans. Like I'm not afraid of the Lions, the Bears. Like there was like some freaking Justin Fields true for Twitter account trying to be like. He was just like messaging me. He was like, guys, come on. We know that Justin Fields is better than Tua. This one is better than that one. And I was like, please stop. Please stop. Justin Fields over Tua right now. Insanity.
No, I'm good. I'm good,
bro. Well, that's an easy dub in Chicago already. Pencil it in.
Yeah.
Dang, man. Hey, Adam E, you're on the right wave of Mean CT right now. If we win Sunday 14-3, huh? Well, no, see, you got us up to like 16-1, man. That's great.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. I mean, I know I'm a homer and I'm okay with that. I love my dog. I love my Fins, but man, if we go through this meat grinder 4-0 and we don't go 12 or 13-0, that'll be a disappointment for me.
100%, man.
Because if you can show you can compete with these good teams and then you start losing to these average, terrible teams, then we'll have a problem. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this season.
No, I'm so excited, man. Like you're in the right place if you're here for some homer talk, man. I'm all about the positive vibes, bro. What's better than being positive, bro? 51-38, 35-31, Hey, let's beat the Buffalo Bills, bro. We talked secondary. We talked O-line. What would be like a third key for you, I think?
I think our linebacker play is going to be a huge key.
You think Tyndall plays?
Say that again.
Do you think Channing Tyndall will play?
I don't know. I haven't heard much about it other than it's a non-COVID illness. So I'm not sure what it is and whatever, but I don't know about that. But I'm more referring to Melvin Ingram. He had some struggles last week in Baltimore.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So did Landon Roberts has struggled every game so far, so that doesn't really surprise me. I'm concerned with their ability to contain Josh Allen. I know you're not going to eliminate all his runs, but you got to contain him, and we have to be able to stop that run. I think that they're going to be, trying to key in on that run to open up the pass for Josh Allen. And that's going to be on our linebackers. Are you guys going to be able to fill the holes and miss and make tackles and stop missing tackles? I think that's going to be hugely important this game.
No, massive, massive. Yeah. Again, to say we can stop Josh Allen would be an insane feat, but to contain him, it's also going to be a little bit insane with our linebackers right now. Can they do it? In theory, we've got some athletes out there with like Jerome and stuff. If Melvin Ingram, he's smart enough to do it. If Jalen Phillips gets asked to, he's got the range. But can we do it, man?
Well, we gotta get this. The one thing I apologize to Josh Boyer because I thought we were gonna come out and look like ass on defense, which we did last game. But overall, I think we've done well enough, and I think that at this point, I'm sorry, but stop freaking putting Jalen Phillips in coverage. This is what we paid. This is what we paid Jerome Baker for. We paid Jerome Baker because he was supposed to be our short area sideline to sideline defender for all these short little drop off passes and all that. That's what we paid Baker $13 million a year for. And yet you're going to have Jalen Phillips doing his job by dropping back into a short zone. That's ridiculous. Let him put his hand in the dirt and let him go get the quarterback. Stop doing this. This is ridiculous.
10,000%, bro. 10,000%. He had one tackle, against the Ravens. He's not making a difference. Send him after the QB. Let him go. Let Jerome do that exactly. I would much rather let Jerome, worry in space, sideline to sideline, and then let freaking Jalen Phillips get after Josh Allen. Let him feast. Let him get some sacks, bro. If we can get some Jalen Phillips sacks, that's going to go massive, a big way to sparking this D.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you don't mind, Nando, if I can shout out MCJB real quick.
Of course, bro. I love MCJB.
MCJB's channel tonight at 10 p.m. MCJB Bars and Fins. He's releasing his Buffalo Bills hate song. Song. So that's going to be up. The first two have been bangers. The one against Baltimore and the Patriots have been awesome, man. So if you guys haven't, go check it out. It's going to be a fun time, man. I promise you that. I'm super excited for the Buffalo Diss. Let's go.
The Buffalo Diss. I like that. I'll have to play that at the little tailgate. We'll get a nice little speaker going and let the Buffalo Bill fans in the area know about the Buffalo Diss. I love MCJV, bro. Good energy on the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Go check that out at 10 p.m.
Yeah, man. Great young kid. Great music. I love it, man. And on top of that, we get to talk trash about the Bills. I'm on board, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'll probably listen to it a couple times enough so I'll know a couple words, and then see a little Bills fans in my area at 349 in my section. I'll let them know a little Buffalo Diss words right back at
There you go. Heck yeah.
Dude.
But I appreciate you letting me hop on, man. I got to head out, but I appreciate you letting me hop on, man, and talking Fins. I love it, man. I love you, Nando. Great job as always. Let's go. Like and sub. Let's get her done. Let's get that W in Buffalo, baby.
Like and sub. Let's get her done. The W. I would love to see your 51-38. CT, thank you for hopping on, bro. Much love. Always a pleasure talking some Dolphins. Whenever you want, boss, feel free, man. Hey.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too, bro. Let's be easy. Dude, that was a fun little Dolphins talk. We're still going, though. Still going strong. CT, always a pleasure. That's also awesome. Check out NCJB's channel. I'm a little bit of a scatterbrain, so I already forgot the name, but I think it's Bars and Fins or Fins and Bars. MCJB, one of a kind rapper, bro. What a beast. Let's get that guy some support. Like I was saying earlier in the show, so many good Dolphins creators out there. Hit him up. You got 10 p.m. He's dropping a Buffalo diss. That'll be a fun time. Who doesn't like dissing the Buffalo Billy Boys? F them. Screw the talk. Screw the haters. We're still on the Dolphins talk, guys. I think me and CT covered some pretty big, areas to focus on for the Miami Dolphins. We talked offensive line. That's going to be key. If they can figure out, continue to communicate, continue to gel, figure out everything. Connor Williams and Teron Armstead, please continue talking your talk. That'll be a good one. Yeah, there's a Dolphins rapper channel. There's a couple Dolphins rappers, Tyler. It's pretty interesting, man. We've got Honorable Solo D, of course. Solo, great dude. Making Tua time. Check out Solo D also, man. MCJB's got some great rap. The link's there if anyone wants to jump into again and keep talking. But yeah, man, Tyler, definitely check him out, bro. MCJB's got some great fire. I got the chance to meet him and Solo the same day when I did a live show for Miami Sports Music. It was pretty cool. So them boys got some bars. We're good to rock, man. Even TD Finn's talk, he spits some time too, man. It's kind of crazy. Got a lot of talented Miami Dolphins people out here, man. Subscribe to them all, but also like and comment on this video and subscribe to me if you haven't done so already. Always appreciated it because we're still bringing you the positive vibes. Even though I ran out of a beer, the fridge is too far. I got to get the mini fridge underneath the desk again, complete the setup. But hey, I digress because we're here to keep talking some Dolphins football. Bada bing, bada bam. Alrighty, guys. The link is in the chat if anybody wants to hop in. If not, I'll keep talking on where me and CT left off. We did put in, oh, by the way, Bob, what is up? A proper shout out to the legend, Bob. You know, his nephew, Alan, is one of my homies. We found that out. Small world through the Dolphins community. And he's actually sits in my section with me. So, Bob, I still owe you beers or a drink of your choice, huh? But, hey, if anyone wants to join in, we got the StreamYard in right here. But, yeah, guys, left off at talking about some keys to beat the Buffalo Bills, you know, in this franchise-changing moment. Offensive line, their communication is going to be key to producing in this offense. If they can perform like they did in the second half against the Ravens rather than the first, if Connor Williams and Teron Armstead can continue giving their leadership and their poise and helping our Miami offense gel and stay calm and organized, we're good to rock and the ball will be a-flowing. You know, yes, if we are facing, the Miami Dolphins are facing a Buffalo Bills secondary that has a little bit banged up. Of course, Micah Hyde might have that neck injury. Their corners in general aren't doing too hot. And it looks like they're going to start a crop of rookies with Kyrie Elam, the first rounder. They're going to start a fourth rounder and an undrafted free agent as well. Looks a little tough. But then you look at the Miami Dolphins who are starting Xavier Howard and Nick Needham, who was an undrafted free agent, although he's developed a lot, obviously. And then Kader Kohu is another undrafted free agent. They can go suck my nuts, honestly, because the Buffalo Bills, every team faces injuries. So do Miami Dolphins, so do the Bills, so do the 30 other teams. Go suck it and tough it up, okay? The Miami Dolphins, if the O-line holds up, will target and terrorize those little rookie corners, though. I am relishing at the idea of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle just absolutely gobbling them up. Yes, our D does have to come on top, and we will talk about that in a second. But while we terrorize the Buffalo D, you know, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle are going to have a field day on those rookies. It's going to be a tough time for them to stop. They're going to get bracketed. They're going to get double teamed, but it's okay because Tua will pick the right matchups, whoever's open. And if those boys are being too touched up, we still have Cedric Wilson and Mike Gesicki to get open and make the plays. Our running backs can make catches out of the backfield. And if not, if the passing game gets too suffocated, then we can actually run with Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert. Speed kills, and we've got it at every level on this offense, and it's good to rock. I'm excited for it. I want to see like 350 yards from Tua, a little 4 TD action. It'd be a fun time. As long as we outpace Buffalo's offense, though, that's all that matters to me. I need the D to make a couple of the right stops, but for the Dolphins offense to outpace the Buffalo offense. But in order for that to happen, yes, our D has to come out on top, you know. We will go Buffalo hunting on Sunday. You know, like the rookie matchup, I love to hear that. Waddle and Tyreek are going to have an absolute freaking field day terrorizing those young heads. Okay. Oh, man. But RD does have to come on top. We talked about it. Another one of the big matchups is going to have to be that secondary and the linebacking core for the Miami Dolphins. Channing Tindall, we talked earlier. Yes, we confirmed the illness is not COVID. It looks to just be some little bug, an illness. I hope that he'll be full health for this weekend. It might not make too much a difference, though. Channing Tindall might just not be, quote unquote, ready yet. This Dolphins team does seem to be bringing rookies a little slow along, and they might need my guy Channing Tindall to develop and settle into his role already. We do have veterans. You know, I mean, Elandon Roberts is struggling a bit. Jerome Baker's got to figure out what his role is, what we paid him to do versus what we're actually asking him to do versus what he can actually do. But we'll figure out that Jerome Baker role, hopefully put him in the position to succeed because he is one hell of an athlete. But Duke Riley and Atlanta Roberts are going to have to tighten up a bit. I'd love to see Channing Tindall get involved, but if our coaching staff deems him not ready, hey, if he's not ready to play Josh Allen, I don't blame him. We're playing one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. The D-line can bring the pressure. Pass rushing linebacker hybrid, we need Melvin Ingram to ball out. Jalen Phillips has to get back into the dirt and go after them. A big Melvin Ingram and Jalen Phillips game. They have to be focused, have to get after the QB and dial up the pressure. I want to see Ogba get some pressure too as well, obviously, and Wilkins has been generating it from the inside or cleaning up with some nice tackles. But I need Jalen Phillips to say, hey guys, remember me, 6'5", 250-pound beast? Yeah, I'm not dropping off into coverage anymore. I'm going to go after the QB and take him into the ground. Let's rock. I'd love to see that from Jalen. Melvin Ingram, show your veteran poise, show that efficiency, and get after the quarterback. Let's do it. But one of the biggest tests is definitely going to still have to be this secondary. We've talked about it. I think our secondary is in a better position than the Buffalo Bills, but we are still a bit banged up. In an ideal world, obviously, would be at full strength and playing Stephon Diggs with the full complement of Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, Javon Holland and Brandon Jones just full and ready to go. But it's not an ideal world. And we will have an undrafted free agent, Kader Kohou, who albeit has been balling out. And yes, it's a small sample size, but he's rated the number 1 corner in football. So take that information as what you will. The kid is balling. That's what matters. I'll love Kader Kohou for what he's been doing so far. If he can keep growing, if he can keep balling, let's see it, Darth Kader. It's going to be a tough task. Obviously, X is going to be on Gabe Davis, and we'll probably have Eric Rowe, the tight end killer, on Dawson Knox. We put him on the second half for Mark Andrews, and it effectively contained him. I hope we take Dawson Knox seriously, and we put Eric Rowe on him from the beginning. For the safeties, that means Brandon Jones and Javon Holland will get a little bit more freedom to either be in the box and blitz or drop back into coverage. Just be a little bit more versatile and just go after in the correct situations. I love the flexibility that Rowe gives us. We've got a great safety room, honestly. Bounce back week from Javon and Brandon Jones would be massive. But back to the corners, Kader Kohou, you don't have to really worry about Stephon Diggs, Nick Needham as well. They'll be more focusing on trying to stop guys like Jamison Crowder, Isaiah McKenzie, Gabe Davis if he plays. He should. He's been practicing again, limited 2 consecutive days, but we'll see what actually ends up happening. If they can stop those boys, make Josh Allen hesitate a bit more, get a little more flustered, make some good plays. If we can go a Buffalo hunting and we can watch Darth Kader force a fumble, we can watch Xavier Howard get a pick 6. Let's get Josh nice and flustered, man. That's going to be one of the biggest keys. As much as I want our linebacking core to step up, I'm not too sure they have it in them to just magically step up and produce to stop Josh Allen. So while we might get torn up a bit in the run, we know that secondary is supposed to be the strength of this Miami Dolphins team. So I need this Dolphins secondary to come up, show out, and be ready to play from the get-go. Okay? It's time for this Miami Dolphins offense to be, obviously, play complimentary football. But it starts with the Dolphins defense making the right stops on D when they need to, when they're asked to, and doing well. Adam E., thanks for still being on here, boss, by the way. Second game Mahomes played with Hill. He went 326 yards with 6 touchdowns, then beat San Francisco at home the next week. To his second game with Hill, 469 yards and with 6 touchdowns, and have a home game next. Oh, and both hit 6 TDs away. Hey, Adam, to be fair, I'm not too sure how this directly correlates to the Miami Dolphins situation, but we ride. For my positive brain, what I'll glean from this is that Mahomes had a baller game his second time with Hill and then continue to ball. That means Tua is going to continue to ball. He figured out how to do it, and he is ready to go. Tua is figured out Tyreek. It seems he's gauged his speed correctly, and now the chemistry is there. Bada bing, bada bam. We are ready to go. Adam, I do agree. When you're playing with a wide receiver, the speed and the caliber of Tyreek Hill, you don't just magically connect overnight. You don't just magically be able to read that in a game situation from one moment to the next. But once you do, it's a bit hard to forget. Once you get that new gear, it's good to go. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's that dude to raise the bar for the QB. I agree. That's what I'm trying to get at right now, Adam. I agree with you, bro. One once you get that gear with Tyreek, you don't lose it. Like that's the new bar raised, and I'm ready to go with it. Obviously to say we're going to throw 6 TDs, 460 yards, 470 yards every week, is that a little bit rich? Of course. But if we can push more than 300 yards, 4 TDs a game, that's gorgeous. Okay. And to have said that a couple weeks ago before the season started, before Tua was balling with Tyreek, you would have been called insane. Okay. Now, bada beam, bada bam. Tua and Tyreek have shown that connection. They displayed it and put it on the world to see. I want to see more from it, and it starts this Sunday. Those rookie corners won't know what hit them. They won't at all. Those are my big 3 keys, though. Offensive line, linebacker, and safety, and secondary. Probably in the position, it'll be secondary. Will be I'll put this link in the chat first. The of those 3, offensive line, secondary, and linebackers. Offensive line, secondary, linebackers. The 3 positional groups. The order of importance, I have them being, they have to play ball out in order for us to win. Secondary, offensive line, and then the linebackers. Secondary, because we need our defense to be locked down and absolutely lights out to give our offense the chance to play. But the only way our offense is going to actually ball is if we freaking, for once, contain against Buffalo. Don't let them into our backfield. Don't let them get disruptive, and we can execute our plays correctly. Okay. It's going to be a fun time. And then the linebackers goes back to that defensive point. But if our secondary is playing lights out, it'd be nice to see our linebackers do well, but I'm not too worried as long as they don't absolutely kill us. Okay. Does anyone have another point they think that is pretty important besides linebacker, offensive line, or secondary that we could discuss further? Because I pretty much beat the bush on O-line, linebacker a lot already. Time of possession will be key too. We can't let Buffalo stay on the field. I know they can hit the home run ball, but we got to wear that D-line down. Yes. Okay. Time of possession will be massive, massive, massive. We can't let them stay on the field. I agree. A lot of the times the Dolphins have gotten a 3rd down. It looks like we're about to get the other team off, and then we let them go. And they keep going, and they keep going, and they keep going. We saw that one of those first drives by the Baltimore Ravens. They held the ball for almost 10 minutes, okay? And yes, we held them off. And at the end of the day, they didn't get the touchdown. We got the 4th down stop, but that's not sustainable. We can't continue to just stay on the field and get more tired because our playmakers, our pass rush will eventually start to wear down. But we also, on offense, we've got to keep their offense off the field. We've got to run the ball. We've got to sustain drives. As much as I want to hit the home run every time, I'm down. I agree, Adam. I want to get the nice runs down, wear them down, develop plays, get 8, 10-play drives. Is it this fancy deep ball that everybody's expecting, this big explosiveness? No. But at the end of the day, that's what's going to win us this game. A couple explosive plays for sure, but keep our defense fresh by wearing them down, controlling the possession, running the ball, short plays, little quick passes, whatever it is, but keep our defense fresh and keep Buffalo off the field. Special teams always a key factors game too. Tyler, 1,000%. Tyler, last week we saw Tevin Duvernay get a freaking return touchdown on us, and it completely changed the game. Okay. It started us off on a bad, slippery slope, and thankfully the Miami Dolphins got the mental fortitude towards the end to recover, but it looked like it was going to get ugly pretty freaking early because of that. We can't have that. Our special teams has to play clean, sound football. Thankfully, Thomas Morstead's a phenomenal punter. He should pin the Buffalo Bills, hopefully, in less than favorable field position. That should give our defense nice time to actually go attack them. Kicking wise, I need Jason Sanders to be money, money, money. I cannot afford any missed field goals. I need him to be confident as well. So McDaniels knows when he's going to kick field goals and when he's going to be punting. Tyler, it's a massive point to win the game. And Javon's returning kicks. Whoever returns kicks, I want to be explosive, fast, and dynamic, and just actually take to the house. Bang, bang, bang. But reality, just put us in good field position as well. If we can get a block punt, obviously that's awesome. If we can stop their field goals, that'd be beautiful. Our special teams has to be on fire, and we have to somehow disrupt theirs as well. Boom. Oof. I'm trying to think of another point of emphasis that I really want to focus on with the Bills, because time of possession is going to focus a lot on our defense, getting them off the field quickly, and our running backs are going to need to run effectively, and our offensive line is going to have to give them the holes to be able to run well. So that makes sense. Fourth downs will be big. Both teams like to go for it. So if you got to go, play all four. Yeah, exactly. Fourth down will be massive. That's percentage will probably determine who's the winner. But Bob, who I got for tonight? I want tonight to be the beginning of the Kenny Pickett era, because I think that'd be awesome. Small hands Pickett just entering the stadium and then just absolutely lighting it up. Screw the Browns. I want them to lose all games. Jacoby Brissett should not be winning. It should not be happening. No, no, no. No more. Okay. I'm tired of seeing Jacoby Brissett win. The Steelers shouldn't be losing games like they should. If Mitch Trubisky plays, it could be a little bit rough for Thursday. This is definitely an ugly Thursday night football game. So I want the Steelers to win. I think it's going to be – I had projected a score, so I'm trying to rack my brain for it. It'll probably be ugly, guys, like a 24-17 or something. Nothing too crazy, but I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to pull it off. Najee's finally going to find some running room, and maybe we see this dawn of the Kenny Pickett era. Bob, who you got for the game, huh? I'm on 5%. We're going to keep it chugging until this dies, though. I have never feared a dead battery. And I'm already at 142, so we're still going to keep going, though. So still got the rankings of secondary, offensive line, linebacker. And if we got to extrapolate the top five, we'll go to running back as well for the time of possession. And then special teams at 5. Those 5 areas of the Miami Dolphins will give us the best opportunity to win. Yeah, I got the Steelers too, bud. Good, smart man. But yeah, so those will be my top 5 importance. Secondary, to contain Josh Allen and those weapons. We won't stop them, but if we can contain them and make them have a couple miscues, throw some interceptions, or just not scoring every freaking drive, that'll be massive and go a long way. Offensive line will give the offense a chance to score and keep up with that Bills. Thankfully, if the offense D holds up some stops. I'm just getting a little tired. If the Dolphins D holds up some stops, then the Dolphins offense will have the shot to maintain. Hey, we got some new people in. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My computer's getting a little slowed down because it is dying on battery, but I'm trying to finish this little last point. But if you can always like, comment, and subscribe, it's always genuinely appreciated. Okay, I am going to be doing another live stream this weekend. I'm going to try tomorrow, but for sure Saturday, I'll be streaming once more. It'll be good to rock. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And back to the original point. Secondary, they ball out, they'll contain the weapons, and we'll be good to rock on that end. Tyler, you're a legend. Legend. Offensive line, offensive line, if they perform, they'll open up holes for the running game, which we'll talk about later, but it'll help open up some possession. That's point number 4. But point number 2, if the O-line is just performing in general, we'll be good to go passing-wise, running-wise. We'll be able to execute and do what we need to do. Point 3 goes back to the linebackers. Again, we need the linebackers to perform to help slow down Josh Allen and the runs, which will give our offense time to score. Bang-a-rang. But point 4, back to the offense, because the running backs, if we're talking about time of possession, good, strong running game in complement with the offensive line will allow us to dominate the clock, stay on the field, give our defense time to rest, and in turn, slow the Buffalo Bills down. And finally, special teams. With the good special teams, the Miami Dolphins will finally complete a good offense, defense, and special teams game. All 3 will be balanced and good to go. Hoo-yoo-yoo. It'll be beautiful. 35-31. I'm projecting that. I've been saying that 35-31 is not this random number I pulled out of my ass. 35-31 was pulled out of the heart originally when I was asked on the stream last Sunday right after the game, what do you think the score will be against the Buffalo Bills? And my way too early score prediction off that high, I have a vision of 35-31 where the Miami Dolphins will go and show the world that, hey, we made the Buffalo offense skip for 1 beat. We took advantage of that, and we had 5 touchdowns. We had 35 points scored, and those little clowns, had 4 in a field goal, and that was enough to win us the game. A good showing by the defense, greatness by the offense, and complementary football from both, feeding off each other, eating their energy, included special teams in that, and it's a long way to go. A fun game and a fun day for the Miami Dolphins. This is the franchise-changing moment. This is the moment we look back and say the Dolphins either rose or stayed at what we thought they were. If they stay, not only if we don't win, but if we aren't convincing, if we don't hang with these big boys, if we get blown out, I'm not going to say the season's washed or anything, but it'll definitely put a massive damper on what we've seen the last 2 weeks, and it'll be raised with a bunch of doubt, and we'll have to go to Cincinnati and see what we're made of. If we lose but we hang competitive, then again, there'll be a slight damper, but for the most part, we will know that this Dolphins offense can at least hang. We're clicking and getting there, and we are on the right track and good to go. But if and when the Miami Dolphins win, if and when, the franchise will be changed forever to a way that we don't even recognize it anymore. No longer will the Miami Dolphins be ridiculed and criticized. Yes, there's talks about the rookie secondary that the Bills are trotting out there. Yes, the excuses are already beginning. But if the Miami Dolphins win, and that's a big if, but if and when we win, 3-0, top of the AFC East division, the Dolphins are in the driver's seat, ready to rock, and looking forward, I don't fear a single team if we beat Buffalo. If we beat them 35-31, if we win 51-38, like CT was saying, if we beat them close, but in a game where we dominated and we showed that we hung with the big boys, whether this is a defensive slugfest, whether this is an offensive shootout, whether it's good complementary football on all sides, I am with it. I'm here to see it. And I'm ready for the Miami Dolphins to keep balling out and showing that. A 35-31 dub would go a long way in changing the perception of everyone, of us fans, of the Dolphins media, of the national media, of everyone in general. It would be beautiful to see the Miami Dolphins take that up, take that challenge, and just absolutely grab the narrative, shove it down their throat, punch them in the mouth, whatever you want to call it. We have to beat Buffalo. Wow, my laptop's actually going to die. Oops. Yeah, I had to switch my Ethernet cable out. And we saved it. Boom, bam, bam. Yes, I switched out my Ethernet cable, reconnected to the Wi-Fi, put in a charger. We're good to go. It looks like I saved the stream. Bam. Does it really get hot and humid in the hard stadium? Yes, bro. Adam, you said it's unbearable at times, bro. Last game in the heat, I was dying. We couldn't fit the tent in my buddy's car, and we left it behind. What a terrible move. We were hot and muggy and sweaty at the tailgate. We go into the stadium, and as soon as we sit down, the breeze dies and it's over. It was so hot, and we weren't even in the sun. I can only imagine the players on the field or the people on the away side in the sun must have been absolutely brutal. But I was so hot. It was definitely tough. Adam, you hit it on the head. Sometimes it's absolutely unbearable, but it's part of that big Miami advantage. Okay. I agree. I don't think we've seen the whole playbook yet. I think McSwag does unleash it on Sunday. I do think he unleashes it, bro. Like, this is the time for McDaniels. Like, we were talking, like, the reason I cut off because I was plugging my charger, but McSwag will unleash it all. Visit Miami one day, Tyler, because we're going to put some fireworks from here until the day McDaniel and the boys retire. It's going to be a fun time in Miami. Because I do think that McSwag is going to unleash it all on Sunday. Like we were talking about, the franchise-changing moment. We've seen the plays starting to come out more and more, the offensive mind expanding a little bit. Now in week 3 with the offensive line gelling, with the ability to finally say, oh, snap, it looks like Tua's got the grasp. Let's give him the golden glove, the golden ticket, and open it all up. I'm ready to see Tua hit us stuff with things we've never seen before, plays that we can only dream and imagine of. I do think he's going to open it all up, the entire playbook, and it is going to be an absolute joy to see. That's why when there's people thinking there's going to be an offensive shootout, I don't disagree at all. I think there's the capability of that in a massive, big way. The Miami Dolphins are going to take this by the nuts. We're going to have a nice defensive showing, but the offense is going to come ready to play. Hell yeah. Bam. It's about hit 5 o'clock. Whew. I'm a little hungry. So I will probably be wrapping up this stream, guys. But yeah, Adam, I'm wrapping up right now too, boss. You got to bounce. Thank you. Yes. I appreciate you thanking my takes, man. Yes, everybody, hit that like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Keep doing me. Of course, bro. You guys keep doing yourselves as well. We are all Dolphins fans. I'm wrapping up as well, too, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, for joining. I'd appreciate a like and a comment. A subscribe would go a long way. A follow on Twitter, wherever you're following us. I'm trying to expand to more platforms. I will be moving this to Instagram as well, but it only lets me put 15 minutes, so I'll see what I do. Maybe I put like 3 clips in a row or whatever. But oh well. At the end of the day, just thanks to anybody who's listening. Thanks to anybody who's tuning in. Just supporting the Nando Talk. It's always a fun time. Dolphins fans, we can do everything. Tyler, thanks for tuning in, boss. Go have your lunch. Go enjoy, man. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. I'll be doing more live streams. I do Thursdays, 3 p.m. every Thursday. Always a fun time. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, whatever you got to do. But come join in some fun time. I put the link in the chat sometimes. I mean, you can come up, you can talk in the chat like these gentlemen and ladies do, and it's always a fun time, fun vibes, positivity, always on Nando Talk. I also do Miami sports music, like I said, 9:30 in the mornings on Tuesday. Me and Nikki Smokes hop over and we go co-host with Stephen D's show, Clock Blockers. A fun time. Great vibes there as well. It's Hot Take Tuesdays usually there. I do Victory Mondays on the same show as well sometimes, but depends on the scheduling. 8 p.m.s on Monday, though, I also go on Miami Sports Fanatic show. My guy, the host, GOT, allows me to have my 1-hour stream there as well. It's always a fun time there. Good vibes, 8 p.m., usually 8 to 9:30 or 9, depending now that there's football, but we're good to go and vibe. Thank you, Bob. Me and Alan are going to have some great Vasosaurs. I was having one earlier in the show, but, a little Vasosaur beer, always a fun little beer. I'm going to bring these to the game, but maybe we'll cup some more with Alan and the boys, Bob. Hey, you know me, I always love me a good beer. But thanks, guys, for saying this is a good show. Thanks for giving your input, for giving me questions, for feeding me along, and for just keeping me company. I could talk football forever and ever, but it makes it a lot more fun when I've got good people tuning in as well. So thanks for giving me that opportunity. Those are what I do on other shows. For here, like I said, it's the Thursdays at 3 p.m. I'll pick some up at the Christmas game. Oh, yeah, you're one of the people going to the Christmas game? We rocked in. I'll buy a case for you easily, boss man Bob. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in, for giving me the opportunity. I do Thursdays 3 p.m. every week. That's a consistent thing. I was going to try to do Tuesdays 3 p.m. I'm a little beat sometimes after Steven's show. It goes for like 4 hours sometimes, but I'll get better at that as well. If not, those will be the scheduled ones, and I'll just try to do just more impromptu streams, just hopping on. If you guys catch me, I would really appreciate that. If you don't, I understand we're all busy with our lives. And hey, you can always rewatch and revive. So whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching this as a recording, and you're still at this point, I genuinely appreciate it. Like, comment, but most importantly, subscribe. But most importantly, just enjoy the Nando talk and enjoy the positive vibes. Fins up. Let's go beat the Buffalo Bills, a 35-31. It is time for the Miami Dolphins to unlock their potential and reach new heights. We are ready for the franchise-changing moment. The Dolphins are going to beat the Buffalo Bills 35-31. We're going to see a sack party. Jalen Phillips is going to come back. Turnover from Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, and Xavier Howard. It's going to lock it up. An offensive showing. Let's do it, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Nando Talk. And in the longest outro of all time, I appreciate you all. And fins up. Let's have ourselves a game. Bada beam, bada bam. Subscribe.